Five, four, three, two, one. Welcome back to another episode of the Relationship Method Podcast. It's your boy Chris. Today I got a lovely guest coming from the Pacific Northwest, Tacoma, Washington. If y'all freaky boys and girls want to know, she's a fashionista. I just found out that she was a blogger. Man, hell yeah! I got Rita on my motherfucking shit.
Hi.
Hello, Rita. How are
Hello.
you today?
I'm doing good.
Hello. Doing good. And before we get going, Rita, how did I get the yes from you to come on, this little podcast?
Little podcast. Listen, so when I saw the reach out and I went to your page and I saw kind of what it was about, right? It's about lots of different kinds of relationships, right? Like interpersonal relationships, work relationship, friendships, all of that. And I'm all about that. One of my biggest things that I'm striving for and that I've always strived for is community, right? And to have community, you have to know how to navigate all these different interpersonal relationships. And so when I saw that's kind of like what you cover and you talk about, I was like, yes, immediate yes. So that's why.
Well, Rita, thank you for coming on my little shindig.
I'm happy to.
Hell yeah. And Miss Rita, what do you do on the outside world? Or what is that like? Do I need to sign an NDA or anything for that?
No. So I'm kind of a two-parter. My part-time stuff that I like to do is EMS. My background is emergency medicine. About 9 years into that field, just about. Will be medically retiring though, because I threw out my back and I threw out my back pretty bad, but it's still something that I love. So I am going to look at teaching it part-time. But my full-time job is a quality officer for an inpatient detox facilities based out of Central California. And so what that is essentially I'm making sure that the policies, the procedures, the trainings that we have to take care of medically detoxing patients is meeting the standard, and that it's understood by the staff, and essentially that we're meeting our care standard for those patients. So that's my full-time job.
Wow, she's educated.
Something like that.
Oh my, just a little bit, I'm an EMT, man. Some light, quality control, none big.
Light work.
Light work. Oh, and then I scrolled through your page and stuff, and also like you do content create, and also like to me in my eyes you're some sort of like a fashion diva or like a fashionist. You know what I'm saying? So like fashionista. There you go. That's the word.
Yeah.
How did you get into that?
So that is something that I've always actually loved. It's always been a passion of mine. Fashion, outfits. I mean, things from hair to the nails, tying it all together. The thing is that I used to be much bigger. I used to be about 155 pounds bigger than I am right now. And so I was never able to dress the way that I wanted to dress because they simply didn't make stuff in my size, or if they did make it in my size, it was cut horribly and it just wasn't going to lay the way that it should. So now that I am smaller and I can fit more of these styles, I've always had the eye for it. But I just could never put it together on my own body before. Now I can. And so that's what people are seeing now. People are like, oh, this is like new. I've never seen you dress like this. Well, you never saw me dress like this because I couldn't find that stuff to fit my body. I've always had the eye to be able to put that stuff together. And so that's what everybody's seeing now, essentially. It's just a passion, a fun thing that I've always liked to do that now I can actually do it.
Oh, girl, I love your style. Has anyone approached you in, like, say, being their, I guess, fashion coach, or hired you to be, hey, dress me up, please?
Yeah.
Type of situation.
It's actually, I want to say in the last like 4 months, I've had about 8 to 10 people reach out and be like, hey, I've got this type of event going on. Can you give me some, like, put together some outfit ideas that I can choose from? And I'm like, yeah. And right now, especially just because this is a hobby of mine, it's not something that I'm like, oh, I'm going to charge you for it. The way that my mind works is like, I need to hone in on that skill and really get good at it to where I could be like, okay, I feel comfortable charging. I don't feel comfortable charging right now because I'm just sharing my fun that I like to do right now, but if it helps other people, then I like to help other people. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now with that.
Oh, so you're with like the networking part of it
Yes.
right now.
Yep.
Yeah, just putting your name
Yep.
out there.
Yep.
Girl, I'm in the same like predicament because people reach out and they're like, "Oh, how much you charge?" I'm like, can I get a Big Mac, or is it gonna be food involved? Because you can feed me by food, you know what I'm saying? Or
No,
yeah,
exactly.
and then like I have a lot of friends on the mainland back home that are starting their businesses, like my
Yeah.
friends and then their kids. So I always post like a shout out to them,
Yeah.
and like for free, like no charge
Yeah.
or anything, because like I'm all about like helping
Yeah.
the homies out and stuff, and even the locals out here.
Yep.
I'd be like, oh man, this is good, this and the third. Like I'm
Yep.
not trying to get clout or anything. Like I'm not trying to
No.
put my name on their page. I just I'm starting to like this whole content creating thing because
Yeah.
prior to content creating, I'm just doing this. I'm just doing this podcasting, right?
Yeah.
But then people start reaching out, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's like a whirlwind of can you do this? Can you do that?
Yeah.
And me, I'm just like, dang, me, okay, like
Yeah,
sure,
like I guess,
yeah,
yeah. It's a new type of feeling. I've had brands reach out, smaller clothing brands that have reached out, like, hey, if we pay you, would you do this? I'm like, you ain't got to pay me. Number one, you're a smaller brand too. We're both in the
yeah,
networking phase. If
yeah.
this doesn't have to be a cost, right? Like I'm not over here hurting for money, right? So like. You're a smaller brand. I'm smaller. Like we're both just trying to get our name out there. I'll do it for free. Like you don't need to worry about paying me. And I feel like that's probably the type of mindset I'll stay in for a while, especially when it comes to smaller or newer people trying to get their name out there, because there's
Mhm.
already enough hurdles for us anyways. And like I said, I'm very big on community. And so if I can create that community foundation between all of us, it's only gonna be able to amp us all up. You know what I mean? So it's a win-win in my eyes.
Oh, definitely, girl. Yes, preach, preach on that. So, you're a fashionista. What's
Yeah.
a as a guy, what's a fashion no no? Can I get a fashion no no, or like what irks you? You know what guys wear? What irks? Like what gives you the ugh? What gives you the ill?
Dirty shoes. Dirty shoes.
Okay, dirty
Like
shoes. Okay.
dirty shoes, like creased up, like super creased up. Like I don't care if you're doing like yard work or something like that, cool. I don't care. But like if we're stepping out and you step out with some creased up, dirty shoes, I'm just gonna be like, no.
Well, what if there's like a scuff or two?
No, that's fine. There's a
That's fine,
difference
right?
between like a scuff or two, right? Like, oh
Uh
shit, I just got out the car and like I accidentally just hit my shit and it got scuffed, versus it looking like you just like plowed some fields in those bad boys for like 8 centuries and you just showed up to the day.
Okay.
There's a difference.
Okay. No, there is. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been seeing a lot of junky Air Force Ones super creased up lately,
Yes.
and I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh,
I
okay.
can
And
do
then
it.
yeah, well, on the island, I mean, a lot of people they just wear the slides, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, and the flip flops and the slippers and shit.
Yeah.
Um, I just walk around wearing like the Crocs, you know.
Yes.
Do Crocs bother you? Because I know there's
No,
a
they
lot of
don't bother me.
people out there. They they're like, oh, Crocs. Like, why can't you just put on some like tennis shoes or whatever?
I don't
Crocs don't
care.
bother you at all?
No, that I don't judge like what type of shoe people wear. I don't care if it's
Uh,
slides, Crocs, Air Force Ones, whatever. Just take care of them. Like take care of your feet, and the things that you put inside of them. You know what I mean?
uh, yeah,
That's it.
females, y'all need to take care of your toes too.
It's that
Y'all can't
factual.
be
Yes.
hell yeah, y'all be come with the crusties and shit. Y'all can't have like the handy toes, like the
The
velociraptors
talons.
and shit. Yep,
Yeah,
y'all
yeah.
can't have that shit happening. Hell no. You know.
It's
Uh,
true though. It's true.
so how about for a woman? What's a no no for a woman?
Like fashion ick.
Yeah, fashion. Yeah.
For me personally, it's wearing pants that are too small. So when it'll cut in and make other stuff pop out. Like it doesn't make the body flow nice.
Uh
It just
huh.
makes me and I know why they do it. They wear the pants too tight because it makes their butt look good, but now it's thrown off your entire stomach and back. Like you got a third
Uh
back
huh.
happening because the pants are too tight. Like that's an ick for
Yes.
me for females. Like, I get it, the butt looks good, but now it just threw off the
Yeah.
list of everything else. So that's
Is
it.
it the is it the okay.
You know what it
I
is.
don't I
You
don't want
know
to
what
say it,
it
but okay, I'm gonna
is.
say it. So
You,
is it the muffin or is it the fupa?
the fupa, I think the fupa, if you have a fupa, it's going to show regardless which fupas. I don't care about.
Yeah.
It's about like you indent your natural body shape because you're trying to make your butt look good. So the pants are too small, and now they are throwing off your natural body shape. That's the way I'll
Got
put it.
you.
That's the way I'll put it.
Okay. So how about because on the island there's a lot of women going for I guess the Hispanic Chicana look.
Yeah.
Is that getting big out there in Washington as well?
Yeah, it's a whole West Coast thing because right, it's West Coast over here from LA, right? Its origination, especially in East LA, right? Like
Mm,
it's kind of carried itself all the way up the West Coast and over to New York. It's everywhere now because it's in social media made it in. They
okay.
did. Social media very much made it in, which is kind of frustrating in one aspect of it because something that was so original to one part of the country, I guess in that
Uh-huh.
aspect, you have a lot of people that have no roots or no, like nothing related to that kind of adopting it,
Uh-huh.
which I get it. Fashion, that's what fashion is. That's what
Yeah.
trends are. And I think there's a lot of different trends that we use from other cultures pretty often. I think with that one, the frustrating part of it is that people were acting like it didn't come from where it came from. Um, Even when it
Oh.
comes to dark liner on the lips, like dark liner on the lips happened because darker melanated women makeup was not making colors to match or for us to use darker melanated women to use. So darker melanated women had to use eyeliner for their lip liner, right? And
Mm,
then that got adopted by the Latinas in LA. So it's all like everything is adopted for different reasons.
yeah.
I think it's just important to pay homage to why it's around, because it's going to get used and picked up. That's just how society and human beings worked. I think it
Yeah.
just I think it just ties into like let's just make sure we recognize where that came from and why it's here. You know?
Facts, girl. While I was growing up, um, uh, females and guys too, they dressed like that, like on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And then, I guess once I got out of, I'm gonna say mid college, that's when it started dying down, right?
Yeah.
But then now it's
It's back.
booming up. I'm like, holy fuck, where did this? And then my wife, she's part Hispanic too,
Yeah.
and she's like, man, I remember wearing this shit back when I was like in middle school and elementary. I was like, god damn, for real? It's like, yeah. I was like, well, I remember that shit too, because
Yeah.
a lot of my friends, they were the Dickies,
Yeah.
the what's it called? Something Robbins, not the Dickies, but the man, whatever. But they I used to wear like the long belt too, the long
Yeah.
colored belt
Yeah. Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I had my initials, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess could you say it's like it's rooted Cali, right?
It's rooted in Cali. Yeah.
Can I
This
say
wave that we're seeing, yeah, it's rooted in Cali.
that? Okay.
For sure. It's just I feel like the West Coast in general, from Cali all the way up to Washington, so many Californians have moved out of California into Oregon, into Washington, that I think it's just a byproduct that it's always going to kind of feel like Cali all up and down the West Coast. And I know a lot of Cali
Mm,
people get irritated that like, oh, Seattle's biting off of Cali, like Oregon's biting off of Cali. Well, yeah, look how many California transplants have been coming up into these states over the last like 30
mm,
years. Of course, like y'all
yeah.
might as well just accept that California has just navigated further north, because that's what it is. I can throw a stone and hit somebody up in Washington who's from Cali, like, you know what I
Oh
mean?
my gosh, you're so right. Because I remember living in Washington, and then we would go downtown, right?
Yeah.
And then there's a place in downtown where it just resembled like the Frisco Hate Street vibe.
Yeah.
And because
Yeah.
it had like the urban shoes, it had the urban wear and everything.
Yep.
I was like, man, this shit remind me of Frisco. And
Yeah.
my wife was like, yeah, doesn't it? I was like, hell the fuck yeah. So like, I don't know, for me, I've never said anything negative about Washington because I had family from Cali that moved up there too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I was just like, the only thing that's different is just cloudier, but it just resembles San Francisco, you know?
Exactly. You fly into San Francisco,
Yeah,
and to me, it's like Seattle. I was like, oh, this is Seattle. Like, it's just a bigger Seattle. Like, that's it. So,
exactly.
because in the comments on social media, especially like on any Seattle pages, like, oh, you guys are biters of Cali. I'm like, y'all have been coming up here. Like, if you don't think that all the millions of Californians that have moved to Oregon and Washington didn't bring that up here, like, we didn't just get that out of nowhere, right? Like, y'all are up here living
Facts.
here. You're living here.
Facts. Girl, you ain't lying. So we're gonna stick on fashion. So
Yeah.
back in high school, I used to be like into the East Coast music a lot, right? And I kind of sort of dressed like, Method Man and Redman with, with the Tims, the goggles, the Pele
Yeah.
Peles, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So with the East Coast motherfuckers, would they get mad at, me and my little friends? I guess the Filipinos and the Asians, right? Because we were dressing like that. Would they get mad at us for like wearing what they were wearing?
I've never, you know what? When I'm out and about, I get a lot of comments asking me, "Oh, are you from New York? Are you from the East Coast?" I'm like, "No, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not actually." Um, but it's always followed by a compliment. Like, it's never nobody hating, because I don't know if it's the way I carry myself or what it is, but a lot is like, "Oh, are you from New York?" And I'm like, "Nah." And it's always followed by a compliment. I really just think that if you're carrying yourself in a way that you're not trying to be a poser, you're just being yourself. And
Yeah.
no matter how you're dressing, I think it's always going to be appreciated. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I really can't think of a time where someone was like, "Oh, why are you rocking it like that if you ain't from that?" Like, that's never happened to me. It's always been like, "Oh, I'm wearing
Yeah.
this because I like it, but I'm also carrying myself in a way that I'm just being myself. I'm not acting like somebody that I'm not, you know?" So, and I think
Mm-hmm.
people can pick up on that. People can, that energy when somebody's trying to pose as something that they're not. We can feel that. And so I think that's really, as long as you're being yourself, I really don't see people going out of their way to be hateful. I mean, on social media they will be because they're behind a keyboard, but in real life,
Yeah, right. Fuck, they in the mama's basement with freaking cookie crumbs on their belly, and they're just
yeah,
typing
just
away.
hella
Yeah,
upset.
yeah. I
But in
remember when I
person,
got.
never. Oh no, go
Yeah.
ahead.
I remember when I got on the island, and I'm a Cali boy. Um, the first time I rocked the do rag out here, and on the island, they're like, the fuck. I'm like, are you black? And I'm like, no, I'm not. But there was a wave check, and I was like, yeah, check me out though. My show was pretty fresh. No, but I think it was like one of the first times that they saw like a brown guy wearing a do rag out here, and
Yeah,
I was like, oh, dude, like I'm not, no way, shape, or form. I'm not trying to disrespect, like the black culture or anything, but I mean,
yeah,
I was taught back in Cali, when I
yeah,
got my cut, you know what I'm saying? Like I was
yeah,
taught you got to keep it doing, and then yeah,
yeah.
so
Mm-hmm.
and just people just misconstrue like if I'm trying to take their fashion or not. I'm just like, dog, it ain't even that
Yeah,
deep. You feel
and
me?
it's
Like I
really
give
not.
credit when credit's due. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, always give credit where credit's due, but I feel like a lot of those people are very telling about themselves and the type of outlook that they have on life, right? Like, somebody who immediately jumps to being offended by the way that I do my hair or the way that I dress or whatever that looks like. Um, why are you so eager to be offended? Right?
Oh
Like,
my god. Oh
you're excited to,
yeah.
you're excited to be
Oh my god.
offended. That's wild to me, because have a
Yeah.
conversation with me first to determine, right? And even then to determine, but like, get to know me first before you want to try to jump down my neck about what you see without
Uh-huh.
understanding the why behind it, right? Like, you don't know where I was raised, you don't know who I came up around, like, you don't know none of that. But you're so eager to be offended, and that's wild to me, because there's no way that your life is good with that outlook, with that mentality of always looking to be offended or upset by something. Like, that's wild.
Girl, that is so true because okay, I'm gonna go back in the day. Back in the day, I had long hair
Yeah.
and I had cornrows and I had boxes and everything, and
Yeah.
I was accepted, with everyone. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Mexicans, blacks, whites. Like it was just like, dang. all right, you pulled it off, right?
Yeah.
So when I come on the island and like I had waves and everything, they're like, like, how the fuck did you do that? Or like, oh, who is this motherfucker, right? And I'm just like, because they see me brushing all the time. And
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
like, dog, it's like, you see it, man. You see it. They're like, oh, what is that? I'm like, dog, come on, dog. You know what it is.
Like, you know
So
what it is. Yeah.
it's just different because
Yeah.
yeah, it's just the social norm. Like I'm still getting used to Hawaii and everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do miss the mainland.
Yeah.
I guess I guess this was like a mainland vent or sort of rant or some shit. But yeah, pretty much, pretty much. All right, Rita, we're gonna get to these questions. We're gonna get to these questions.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right, so the first one, right, and these are coming from listeners and followers and shit. So
Okay.
you did get some cues. Da, 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 da. Are you guilty of keeping score in a relationship?
I guess I would have to ask, in what way do you mean keeping score?
Oh shit. Okay, I could do it too. Cause I'll break it down. So me
Yeah.
and my wife, I keep score all the fucking time. I'm like, you know what? I paid for like the last 5 dinners. I think it's your fucking turn. Or you know what? I kind of cleaned the toilet the last 3 times. I mean, you haven't done shit yet. Like that type of stuff. Or even when it comes to like the bills, or like
Yeah.
say, in the relationship, how majority, and I don't want to be sexist, but majority of the time the man, pays for the shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like keeping score means, hey, I bought dinner
Like,
last time. Is it cool if
yeah.
you can? Yeah. So how
Yeah.
do you keep score, or have
I,
you ever?
So I think everybody keeps score to an extent,
Uh huh.
right? That's how we're able to tell if we are in a relationship that is balanced, right? We do that whether that's with who you're in a romantic relationship, a friendship, your work relationship, right? Hey, I'm doing all of this. I'm not really seeing anything given back. I'm having a problem here. There's an imbalance occurring, right? So I think everybody does it to an extent. I think it's how we go about doing it that is going to determine whether this is productive or harmful. Because if we're doing it in a sense of like we're keeping tally and like there's a scoreboard of like, okay, well, I did this and this, and you've only done it once, or you've never done it back, and you're resentful about it, then now you guys are pitted against each other, right? It's a keeping score thing versus um being a bit more productive and not so attacky and resentful. So like it can be, hey, I've noticed that I keep showing up in this relationship in this way, and I don't really see that being reciprocated by you. So I'm feeling not seen. I'm feeling not heard. I'm feeling not valued, right? I think when you approach it that way, it's a lot more productive because then the other person can be like, oh shit, I didn't even realize that you don't feel seen, heard, or valued. Because if we boil it down to like what keeping score actually is, it's because we don't feel seen, heard, or valued, right? But that's the whole reason why you're bringing up, I've done X, Y, and Z, and you're not doing anything, or I don't see you doing this. We don't feel valued. We don't feel appreciated, right? And so
Yeah.
it's not wrong to bring that up in a relationship or interpersonal relationship. I think it's just how you go about it, right? Like if you're bringing it up, like you never do this and I always do this, and you're pissed off and you're talking down to them while you're doing it, then now you've become two teams against each other. Versus if I'm bringing it up in the other way, it's like, hey, I'm not feeling seen, heard, or valued. I want to understand why. I want to understand if this is on purpose. And depending on what the answer is, then you know how to navigate the relationship. Because for me, I never forget, right? And that's just me. I never forget. And that comes from watching many women in my family and friends have a history of traumatic abuse done to them, traumatic abuse done to me in my life. And so me just forgetting or deciding not to bring it up again when I notice a harmful pattern happening, it's not happening. If I start to see a harmful pattern start to happen, I am going to bring it up and I am going to talk about it. And so that might look like a keeping score thing, but it's really like no, I've showed up for you like this because this is my love language, and I'm not getting anything back, and my cup is empty. That's how I'm going to be able to effectively communicate to you what I'm feeling and why. So that's my outlook on it.
So I know communication is key, but in the spur of the moment,
Mm-hmm.
how can one, like, say, communicate that effectively? Like, say it's to that point where an argument is about to happen, right? How
Yeah.
does one like communicate it to where it's like, bitch, you in the motherfucking wrong. Yeah, or
Yeah.
motherfucker,
Yeah.
I'm not wrong. Yeah, like he
Yeah.
say, she say. What? Yeah.
Um,
How does one effectively communicate that?
Well, so I think it's two parts, right? Like the first part is that you have to be in a relationship with somebody who is emotionally intelligent enough to
Ooh.
understand the way that you're communicating. Because I can say something so fucking perfect to you, very eloquent, very, very productive, but if you do not have the emotional intelligence or capability to understand what I'm saying and not make it about you, but make it about what I'm actually saying, then it doesn't matter. It's going to be like talking to a brick
Yeah.
wall, and we're going to argue anyway. So I think that's the first step, is having a partner or friend or whatever that looks like, that is as emotionally intelligent as you, or more so. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But then the second part is talking with I statements. So people will
I
always jump
statement.
people will always jump on the defense when you start with like a you, because like, oh shit, like, wait a second. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so starting with the I statement. So like what I said before is, I feel like I am doing this, and this, and it's not being reciprocated. I'm feeling lonely. I'm feeling not seen by you. I'm feeling unappreciated by you, right? Like these are all I statements. I'm not saying that you are not appreciating me. I'm not saying that you are dismissing me, but I'm telling you how I feel and why I feel that way. But again, that takes somebody who is emotionally intelligent enough to hear that for what it is, of you just saying how you're feeling, and you're not calling them that, right? Like, I'm not saying that you're a dismissive husband or boyfriend. I'm not saying that you're a shit person. What I'm saying is that your behavior is making me feel like this. So how do we, right? Like, help me understand why I'm seeing this behavior, or help me understand why maybe I shouldn't interpret that behavior in that way, right? Like maybe you didn't mean it that way, or whatever that looks like, right? But you're never going to even get to the why or understanding the why if the other person is not emotionally intelligent enough to understand the communication attempt, or if you don't start with I statements. Because starting off with you do this and you always do this, you're going to set yourself up for that person to be defensive against you. And now you just got to get through that hurdle of the defensiveness just to get to the core of the issue again. So
Ooh,
that's
girl. I love it. My therapist tells me use I statements a lot, and I do that periodically every day. Let me tell you something, Rita. Last night, right? Um, my wife was in the bedroom sleeping. I come in the bedroom, and my kids was making a ruckus. I'm like, hey, be quiet. This is the third. Your mom's sleeping. My wife, she's like, dang, you don't let me sleep. You see me sleeping, da da da. I'm like, whoa, hold on, wait up, wait up. I was telling the kids to like, be quiet. It's like, but you don't have to like yell or like say it so loudly. I'm like, okay. And then she tried arguing with me, and I was just quiet the whole time because my therapist said if I don't have anything nice to say, don't say nothing. And I control me, so I can't control her in what she's saying. Therefore, she was getting angry with me for not like arguing back. And I told her, like, during the middle of this, of her, like, hello, or why aren't you talking to me? This and the third. I'm just like, oh, you know what? I apologize for, waking you up. I was just trying to tell the kids to, be quiet. Hey, my bad. And then that was it. She
yeah.
kept on trying to go on, but I was just quiet. I was like, nope, I'm not, it's a trap. I'm not going to get in trouble for this. But she did get mad. And then, eventually she fell asleep. But
Mm-hmm.
then, oh my gosh, Rita, you don't know how hard it was for me not to like bite back. Cause I was ready. I was ready to be like, motherfucker, I fucking let you sleep in almost every day when I'm off. I let you, I was going to go off, but then I was like, you know what? That's like, no, no. So yeah. Oh my
It's
gosh.
hard. It's hard. I think the other part of it too is like just accepting that people are gonna have human ass moments, right? Like
Yeah.
people are gonna have human ass moments, and I think a big part of why we see so much depression and so much friction in relationships is because I feel like everybody bought the dream that love is supposed to look like Disney, and it's not. It's not. That's not love. That's not relationships. That's not real. It doesn't happen. And so when we do hit these friction points where we do just witness human beings being human beings and having human moments, when we can't get it to align with like, oh, well, we both communicated effectively and it's still not fucking working and we still like are butting heads. That's life. That's life. It turns into how resilient can we be now, right? Like, like, I know me, like, my hormones are going crazy right now. I'm in like perimenopause. It's wild to say that, but like, I'm in perimenopause. So my hormones are all over the place. So like, there are days where I have no patience, zero, right? And I know all the effective ways to communicate and how to be nice and all that shit. But when I don't have any patience that fucking day, I'm about to be real goddamn human. I'm gonna be so human that day. Oh, I'm about to be so human. It's so like you need people that like are gonna give you that grace, right? That under like during those times. But I take it as right, like it's not anybody's responsibility for how I act. But what I can do is give people insight to why I'm acting the way that I am acting. So in my small circle of people, I will tell them, hey, I'm feeling pretty off today. I'm not feeling like I want to talk a lot. I don't feel like I want to socialize a lot. This isn't me pulling away from you. This isn't me right. Don't take offense to it. I'm communicating ahead of time that I know that I'm feeling some type of way. I know that I'm feeling kind of agitated, right now. So if I could just have my space and you respect that boundary, then there won't be unnecessary friction, right? But if I don't say anything, because it is my responsibility, I know how I'm feeling. It's my responsibility to communicate that to people. If I know that I'm feeling extra tired and I haven't slept, because I'm going through insomnia like a mofo right now, and I know that I haven't got any sleep, like it's my responsibility to say, I haven't gotten much sleep. I'm feeling pretty on edge and I don't have a lot of patience for dumb shit right now. Like, love you, but like, this is just where I'm at. That's my responsibility because people can't read my mind. They can't assume how I'm feeling on the inside. That's my responsibility. And so I can't get mad at people for, how they interact with me, not knowing that like I was very short on patience, short on sleep and all that. That's not their fault. That's mine if I didn't say that. Right. What does become their fault is like, okay, but I communicated X, Y, and Z and you still showed up in my face with some dumb shit. So now, right? Like, now you did it.
So Rita, let me ask you, when you're communicating with that, right? And I know a lot of people are wondering, when that's not being reciprocated in the correct way, like people might take it like, oh man, fuck this, I ain't hitting her back up, or yo, what the fuck? Like, why are you coming at me like that and shit? When a person comes off sideways like that or takes it like that, is it your job to like say explain it more into depth, or is it one of those things where like, hey man, you take the info as how you want to take it, and bygones be bygones, like you wasn't a real one?
Yeah, no, in my earlier days, like in my 20s, I used to do the other part. I used to be like, oh well, no, here's why. I'm going through this, or da 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 da, right? Like more in depth. But what I have found as I've gotten older is it doesn't matter. If people are going to be determined to misunderstand you, then they will be. It doesn't matter how much you communicate. It doesn't matter what you say. They are dedicated to misunderstanding you. They are dedicated to not hearing you because of usually it's a self-serving thing, right? Like my friends that would get mad because of that, it's because they relied on me to be the fun of the fun and the life of the party. And so if I wasn't showing up, then they weren't having fun. And so now I'm the bad guy, right? But it was all self-serving for them. It was nothing because they actually cared about me as a person, right? Which is why my communication attempts, it didn't matter how in depth I explained something. They didn't care because their needs weren't being met for whatever selfish needs that they had about wanting me around or wanting my time and my energy. I'm the fix-it friend, and I always have been. And so when I pull back on that energy because I need it for myself, even very recently, up until a year ago, I lost a about 13-year friendship because I pulled back my energy. I couldn't save her this time. I had saved her multiple times. I had helped her multiple times, but I'm in an era right now where I really have to pour into myself and my own needs for once. And I couldn't save her the way that she wanted. And so that made me the bad friend. And so I literally chucked up the deuces. I said bye, right? Because you know who I am. I make it so clear when I meet people exactly who I am, exactly what I stand for. There is no gray area. I'm very transparent when it's somebody, I meet somebody and I say, I want you in my life. I want you in my inner circle. There's no questions about who I am. And so if you are still going to go out of your way to misunderstand me, to not care about me in the sense of when I am trying to communicate, then it's bye. You'll come back around. I never will. They always come back around. They always come back around because I was never in the wrong. Mm-hmm. When it comes to the breaking of the relationship, I have never done anything to anybody that would be the reason why we would need to sever the relationship. I give people so many chances, but once that last chance happens, I cut it. And they're like, well, what the fuck? Why? You know why. I've made it very clear what I stand for. And so at our big old age, I don't want to hear shit. There's way too much therapy out there now than ever before. There's way too many resources on the tips of our fingers, right? You know what you did. You know how you acted. I'm not your mom and I'm not your dad. I'm not raising any more adults in my lifetime. I'm not doing it. And so just for my own peace, I cut the deuce. If you want to misunderstand me that bad, then so do it. Yeah.
Oh, girl. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
girl.
Yep.
Goddamn. What qualities make a healthy relationship?
I feel like we touched on a few of them, but so emotional intelligence, huge, right? Conflict resolution, how you go about resolving conflict, because conflict is always going to happen, right?
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
And I think that that's something that has to be a conversation that you guys sit down and agree about how you're going to go about it, because no two people have the same conflict resolution style. But two people need to sit down to figure out what fits them both the best, because I need to understand how you react when you're hurt, right? I need to understand, like, okay, does he need to get his anger out before we have a conversation? Because that's me. I need to walk away and I need time. If I'm super angry about something, I need to walk away, have time, and then come back and then have a conversation. And if I can't have that conversation, I get really frustrated because I'll just keep ruminating on it until I'm able to talk this out with you. Versus, especially usually for men, they just usually shut down, right? And so they don't really want to talk. They don't really want to talk. And so for somebody like me who needs to talk it out, I'm just getting more and more pissed off because I want to hurry up and get it done with. As soon as we have the conversation and we have our conflict resolution, I forget about it. It's off my head. I'm literally not thinking about it again. The difference is men will shut down, but they will think about it for the rest of their life. They will always remember this argument that we've had, that you shut down and you swallowed and we didn't talk it out and there was no end resolution, right? We just pretended like it didn't happen, but it's always in the back of your head because we never talked about it. But for me, I got to talk about it and get it out, and then I will literally never think about it again. Literally.
What if you're a person that, like, let's say you're in a situation that you can't talk about it, okay?
Yeah.
So I want to play not devil's advocate, but I'm gonna give you a scenario.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say a person was with someone, liked someone, crashed out in front of that other person, but like hid the feelings like super deep, but still liked that other person, and like they never communicated.
Yeah.
So is that like a situation where he should just let go and then just go back to his relationship? Or is it something that if he wants it closed, he should talk to that other person?
I think he or she, I think that you should talk about it. Honestly, because you might be able to like forget about it for a phase in life, a few months, maybe a year, but there's always going to be something that like triggers it back because it has been left unresolved. It's open. I don't care how far you shove it down. It's been left open. There's been no resolve to it. And so not talking about it yeah, you might be cool for a little bit, but something's going to trigger or remind you, or you're going to run into them again, and it's going to hit
Yeah.
you again. It hasn't gone anywhere because it hasn't been talked about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think having those honest conversations matters. And so even when it comes to conflict resolution, that's why like two people need to sit down. Okay, I need to understand how you behave when you're frustrated or upset. I need to understand how you do, and let's make a game plan about how we do conflict resolution. I think that's huge, and is something that whenever you're going to be like, hey, I want you in my life, or hey, I want to date you, I feel like that should be standard, like sit down conversation. Let's talk about conflict resolution and how we want to go about it and agree upon it. That way, when shit goes left or the agreed upon plan is not happening, there's an accountability factor. Like, no, wait, we both agreed to do this when we were butting heads and we're not doing it. So it gives everybody direction back when, you know, we do get in our emotions and our feelings, and we're human beings, but I think that just sets up an accountability factor. But I also think it helps get people, especially for our age group and above, get in the habit of talking, men and women, because even though I like to talk when a conflict is happening because I want to talk about it and get it passed, in general, I'm not a very talkative person. Right. I usually don't tell people that I'm going through anything until it's too much. And they're like, damn, why haven't you you didn't say anything? And I'm like, to me, I'm such a realist. I'm like, there's no point in me telling you, you can't change anything about what I'm going through. So there's no point in me telling you're going through your own shit. You don't need to hear about my shit too, that you can't fix for me anyways. Right. And so like, I'm very much kind of like a coin of two sides. Right. So like, I stay very quiet. I might be going through hell. Nobody will know about it. I'll just get really quiet and kind of like resolved into myself until I figure it out. And then I'll pop back out. And everyone's like, where the hell have you been? I was like, oh, I was just, figuring some shit out. But
going through some shit.
I was just going through some shit. My friends, they say that I'm the dudest chick that they've ever met, because I do have a very emotionally, I would say I'm very similar to a man in that aspect of just how men process their emotions. But I think that just comes from the trauma and how I was raised, right? Like I had a dad who was very much like why are you crying? Your crying doesn't change shit, right? Like, and I was just like, damn. And I didn't realize, and I was like, it really doesn't though. Me crying does not change, being homeless. Me crying doesn't change that we're not going to have food to eat. It doesn't change anything. So why am I crying? And so I learned that from a very young age. And so, even into my adulthood, it's been new for me. I would say only in the last 2 years, that I've been working on being more expressive about how I'm feeling. But it's still like an ick to me to do it. I'm just like, oh my God, this is so gross. Hey guys, I'm feeling like, but I'm doing it, right? Because the people that I love and care about, like, it is my responsibility to tell them where I'm at emotionally so that I don't set them up for conflict that didn't need to happen between us if I would have just told them how I was feeling.
Girl, I am like that too. Like, the whole tear thing, like with my kids, I'm like, dude, there's no reason to cry. You gotta keep on going. I understand that you're hurt. It's an emotion that you don't know. Cause my kids are like, they're 6 and 8.
Yeah.
So it's like, I understand it's like, you can't check your emotions right now, but once you get older, you just gotta keep on going. And that's how I taught my older daughter. She's 20 some odd years old now. She graduated college and so she hardly cries and everything. But oh my gosh, I posted this thing earlier today. I was in the gym by myself, where like just going, and then a song came on, and I was like, oh my God, why am I getting so teary eyed? You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh my God, so keep on trucking. But what you were saying earlier, I was like, oh shit, that shit's hitting home. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, it
Rita,
really is.
Why?
I don't know. And I always make a joke. My friends, like, I'll tell them, I'm like, yo, I only cry like twice a year. And it sucks too, because I'm a Cancer and everybody's like, oh, Cancers are crybabies. I'm like, we're really not. Actually, if we are crying, like, we probably want to stab you in the neck. Like, it's not because we're sad. And so like, I was like, I only cry like twice a year, but this last year, I feel like I've cried like almost once a month. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
It's
What
like
is
something inside me,
happening?
like, why? Because I'm a Cancer as well, and I'm just
Yeah,
like, I hardly ever cry, and it's like I get that urge. You feel me? Like
yeah,
it's one of those. It's finna to come out, but it's not. It's like,
yeah.
oh God, I'm kind of sad, but not no tears.
But no tears. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no tears. Yeah. Oh my,
yeah.
we're the
I
same
know.
kinda. Rita, next question. How can someone get the invite to the cookout?
Oh, it's an invite to the cookout for me is if I see you singing or dancing to SWV Week or Soul for Real Candy Rain. If you
Oh yeah.
get over here, I don't care what you look like, I don't care nothing. Get over here. Yeah, you're coming to the cookout for sure.
Hell yeah, that is what's up, girl.
Yeah.
So my next question is, and this is coming from like he graduated high school, he's getting into college now.
Yeah.
Um, the whole communicating with, like, say, someone younger and someone older, right?
Mhm.
That gap of communicating. Do you
Yeah.
think someone young could communicate or be with someone like older, like, say, freshly out of high school to someone that's like established already? Could
I,
that
I
could that
yeah.
dynamic work?
It can work, but here's the thing. There's going to be a part of it that requires extra work, right? Because even right, like I've made friends with people that are 15 years younger than me, and there is
Mm-hmm.
a dynamic that's a little bit different. It's not crazy different, but there's a difference there. And so there just has to be that openness and that that patience with each other of like, okay, so this is right, like this is kind of how I was raised. This is the way that I'm used to communicating
Yeah.
versus I'll tell you right now with younger generations, very passive, very like vague in the way that they describe, like they don't describe that they're so vague. They're so vague. I'm like, well, what do you mean by that? I don't know. I'm just chilling. No, but what do you mean by that? Right? Because to me, just chilling is like, oh, you don't really care. But for them, they're like, no, chilling. I mean, like, I'm good. Like, da 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 da. Right. So there's these differences, and there has to be that patience and understanding so that, like, if one side is saying, whether they're younger or they're older, they're like, well, what do you mean by that? Like, don't take offense to that. Don't get mad right away. Like, be open to hearing, like, oh, no, this is what I mean by that. Or this is why I say things like this. Right. It's like understanding a new language. There's going to be a little
Mm-hmm.
bit of a barrier there, but I think if both people are open to like understanding that we do have this barrier, but if we both work at it, it's going to be fine. Right. We interact with all different age groups all the time. Like when I interact with, my seniors, I know that there's a certain type of way that I have to interact with them because they don't understand. If I was just to interact with how, you and I communicate, I can't do that with them necessarily because of the age that they're in. And so just respecting that, I think it's fine. I don't really see an issue. But if you're going into it with that you're gonna try to mold that person to be like how you want them to be, I think is where you'll butt heads a lot
Oh,
versus
definitely, yeah.
versus just like, oh no, I just need more understanding. I just need more clarity and not taking offense to when somebody asks questions. I think that that's a big thing. I feel like people can sometimes be quick to be offended by being asked a question when I feel like asking questions is how people get the clarity that they need to understand you the way that you want to be understood. Right.
Mm.
Um, so I think that just all kind of plays into it, but I think it's definitely doable.
Oh, definitely. Okay. Last
Yeah.
question. And so can you love someone from afar?
Yeah.
So let
I think
okay,
you
so
can.
okay, scenario. You liked someone, you guys never got into that situationship, but you were very fond of that person. So, things happen, not nothing negative, but
Mhm.
it was just you two just stopped talking, right? But
Yeah.
you see that person, like, say, once in a while, like once a month, maybe twice a month or whatever, and like you still admire that person from afar. Could that happen? And also, if that can happen, what is like a healthy way to, all right, I gotta let that go, let that slide off somewhere else, but I still genuinely care for that person.
Yeah, I think I think it's a hard one. I don't think it's easy. Um,
Yeah.
because when you do grow fond of somebody, when you do love somebody, um, the human urge is to want to be with them and want to be close to them and you know interact with them. And so I think you're fighting a biological thing on top of a very like almost kind of spiritual type thing that you're feeling. And so I think
Mm.
when it's from afar and you're having to do it from afar, um, I think that you can still love them in the sense of like you'll always admire who they are. You love their character. You love the same. Almost, I don't want to say kind of like, you know, how you have like people that you support who you're like, oh God, I love what they stand for. I love that they do X, Y, and Z for the whatever, right? I think that you can still love people, and I think that you will still love people, almost kind of like a twin flame scenario, right? Like right place, wrong time type deal. I don't think it'll ever change the feelings that are there. But I think that if reality is that you guys can't be together, then that's just what the reality is. And it's almost kind of like
Yeah.
to respect the reality of the situation is that you can't be with that person. But I don't think it changes the love and the care that you can have for somebody. And I don't think
Mm.
it'll ever go away. Honestly, I think that don't kill me in the comments for this one, but I don't think that there's one soulmate for people. I think that we find soulmates in our friends. I think that we find soulmates in people romantically. I think that we can connect with people on a deep level like that and have very deep love for people across many different type of like situations. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And so I don't think that there's just one person for everybody. I think that as human beings, we were made to be able to love very deeply, um, for many different reasons, whether that's our kids, our dogs, our neighbor, whatever that looks like. And so when it's a situation where you can't be in person to love that person or have them in the way that you want it, I think it's just about respecting the reality of the situation, but
Yeah.
always having love for them, right? Like if they were to call or if they needed help or something, like you would always, it won't matter if it's 1 year or 20 years from now, I'll drop what I'm doing and I'll go, right? Because that feeling doesn't go away for people.
Mm. I
Just
like how I like how in the middle of all that you said that we were made to like have these feelings to love like certain people or certain things, right? And
yeah,
I've said that like all along, like when I started this podcast, I said that and I knew there was a lot of people was like, "Oh, what the fuck do you mean?" I'm just like, "Nah,
yeah,
dude, like God made us with emotion and it's like
yeah,
we can't just have one emotion towards one person.
yeah,
That's just alien of me, you know what I'm saying? Like we
yeah,
have these we develop these relationships, you know, throughout our lifetime, you know what I'm saying?
yes,
We're on this earth like at least 80 to 90 years, you know,
yeah,
if we're
yeah,
fucking lucky or not, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
You
That's
know? So
yeah,
it's like
right?
it's
Yeah,
kind of ignorant to think that we can only like
yeah,
be to
yeah.
that one, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, that just it doesn't even make sense. Like if you really
Hmm.
like it doesn't make sense on like I don't know how to explain it. Like even just the way that God talks about loving others. Like there's no
Hmm.
way that like I was made to just be able to love one person and that's just where all of my love like I love some of my friends so deeply. So deeply. I would lay down my life for them, right? Like I would also lay down my life for my fucking dogs. Like
Yeah.
can love so deeply. And so to think that like that always has to be only confined to one avenue of your life is just wild to me. It's not something that I buy into at all. If I connect with
Hmm.
somebody, and I start caring for them and I start loving them, then that's what it is. You know what I mean? I think we were put here to do that.
Yeah. Girl, Rita, that shit was fun, and thank you for speaking with me. Oh my god, I loved it. Rita, that was fun. Do you have any shout outs or anything, or where can these lovely people find you at?
So you can find me on IG or TikTok. It's under Rita_CE, or Rude Girl Dino, either one. If you search it, you'll find me. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I want to shout out myself because I've been putting in a lot of work over the last year. So I'm just saying, shout
Hell
out myself.
yeah!
I do want to shout out Justice for Goose. This is one of my dear friends. Her son was tragically shot in his house playing video games by a violent offender. He was with his dad, who had approved visitation time at a house that he was not supposed to be at. And he lost his life. He's forever 13. We're fighting right now in the system to have this violent reoffender kept behind bars. So go look up hashtag justice for Goose. That's the only other person I want to shout out right now.
Hey, R.I.P. Goose into the family, man. Condolences. Holy crap. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Damn, that's kind of sad.
Yeah,
sorry.
It is. But we're fighting though. We're fighting. We're happy.
Fine.
We're happy that we're making some motion here in Washington about it. So yeah.
Okay. Well, shit. With that being said, hey, KU Studios, thank you for the lovely home. Hey, rap you by it always, man. Forever. Thank you for the lovely beats, man. I'm Chris. It's your part. Okay, again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. God, Rita. Oh, you're killing me.
I was like, oh, right.
Hey. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, KU Studios, thank you for the lovely home. Rap you by it. Thank you for the lovely beats, man. I'm Chris.
I'm Sarita.
And we out this bitch. Peace.